A movie getting ready to be filmed in Albuquerque will have a stretch of a busy road shut down in downtown.
This is on lead between Broadway and 2nd Street. It's basically the bridge or the overpass that goes over the railroad tracks. It's a very busy area. It's going to be shut down until next week. News 13's David Romero is live out there right now. And David, there's a little confusion on when this shutdown starts. Is it happening just yet?
Not just yet, Matt, and probably not likely until tomorrow. Now, we were told that the closure was scheduled to happen today, and of course we even double-checked this on the city's website. But when we got out here, as you can see, we found that it's completely open. You're going to see a car coming up in just a few minutes passing by me. There's signs out here that even indicate the closure is not scheduled to happen until tomorrow at 5, and as you can see, cars are able to go through there right now. When it is closed, though, once again, lead's going to be closed from Broadway to 2nd Street until next Wednesday night. You have a couple of options to get around this. You could take Broadway north to Central or take it south to Bridge. That's when you'll be able to finally get across the railroad tracks that way. Now, the reason for all this is the new movie, Two Guns, which we'll be shooting here. It's one that will star Denzel Washington and Mark Wahlberg, and it's all about a DEA agent and naval intelligence officer who gets set up by the mob. Now, no one said if the two stars will actually be shooting here, but there's a lot of secrecy behind it at this point as to whether they will be here or not, and crews will, of course, be building up sets over the course of the next few days when they finally start filming and get that bridge closed. Matt, back to you.
All right, thank you for the heads up, David, and trying to figure out exactly what is going on there. You know those movie people, they always change stuff at the last minute. Again, this is all set to go until next Wednesday night.
Republican presidential candidate Mitt Romney is on his way to Hobbs, New Mexico this morning for his first visit here to the state. For this election season, Romney will be discussing energy at a public event at the Watson Truck and Supply Company in Hobbs around 10:30. Then there is a private lunch at the convention center where donors will fork over $1,000 to $50,000 a plate. President Obama visited southeastern New Mexico earlier this year to promote his energy policy. Of course, we will have complete campaign coverage throughout the day, both on air and online.
Investigators all over the country are still cracking down on a kind of synthetic marijuana known as spice, and we found out firsthand shops here in Albuquerque are still selling it.
Marijuana.
A friend of mine said they came and bought something called potpourri. Have you guys?
That's News 13's Alex Tomlin. She went undercover at a smoke shop on the west side yesterday and found a tray of what looks like tiny pill bottles and packages labeled potpourri. Keith Brown with the DEA knows about this potpourri and tells us it's the same thing as spice, and changing the name or even a couple ingredients does not make it legal.
So if it's chemically similar and they're selling it the same way they were selling the illegal stuff, then it makes it just as illegal.
You might remember the DEA raided a number of shops recently and plans to go after more very soon. Well, later today, we should learn more about what caused a deadly rollover crash near Rio Rancho. Happened early yesterday morning near 13th Street in Northern. Police found Arthur Duran dead outside of an SUV that had flipped over. 5 other young adults were rushed to the hospital just to make sure they were okay. Police do think that drugs or alcohol may be involved in this crash. They also think Duran was not wearing a seatbelt.
The suspect, police say, is responsible for a hotel killing in Albuquerque is expected to be in court today. There is a hearing for Gary Hanaway to discuss a possible change of plea. The 42-year-old is accused of killing a man at the Ambassador Inn back in March of 2010. Hanaway was caught a year later. He is charged with first-degree murder. A man who police say they have caught driving drunk over and over again is recently sentenced to only probation. Scott Owens admitted in the Santa Fe Municipal Court yesterday that he drove drunk back in March. The judge gave him a year of probation after Owens pled guilty to aggravated DWI. The judge also allowed for the ankle monitor he had been wearing to be removed. Now, this is the same guy that cops say was drunk when he hit a car full of Santa Fe teenagers in 2009, killing 4 of them. A jury in that case acquitted him of vehicular homicide because it was not clear which car crossed the center line. Before that crash, Owens was convicted back in 2001 for DWI.
The family of a woman who accidentally killed her 2-year-old nephew by leaving him in a hot car is set to meet with Bernalillo County District Attorney Carrie Brandenburg at some point. Earlier this week, a grand jury indicted Sandra Rodriguez Miramontes for child abuse resulting in death. Right now, she's locked up at the MDC, and Ms. Brandenburg says it's best for Miramontes to stay there because she is in the U.S. illegally.
It's important, you know, that we
did proceed to indictment, that we have this indictment pending, and that these charges be dealt with before ICE handles anything. And we're not in control with what they choose to do.
ICE, of course, is Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Miramontes' family, including the little boy's parents, want those charges dropped. However, Ms. Brandenburg says that even if Miramontes is found guilty, she may not have to go to prison. And a similar case may finally be moving forward sometime soon. Investigators say Stephanie Pignon killed her 2-year-old daughter by leaving her inside of a very hot minivan 2 years ago. Pignon has never been indicted, but Brandenburg says she expects some kind of legal action within the next few weeks.
Crews continue to try and clear out a bunch of bats that have made the main fire station in downtown Albuquerque their home. A wildlife management company has now stepped in. They are trying to get rid of the bats by using one-way valves that let them out of the station. It may take another day to completely get rid of all of them. Firefighters have moved to other stations for now, and they tell us that this has not affected how they respond to emergencies. We'll, of course, keep you posted on the progress. He is not your typical thief. Oh no, a man wearing a wig out to steal tons of beef jerky. Albuquerque police are looking for this guy right now. Check it out. Cops say surveillance cameras at Mike's Jerky on Manal capture a man wearing a wig breaking in Monday morning. You can see how he shatters the glass door, slides in, and goes for the goods. That is a lot of beef jerky. The owner of the shop tells us he doesn't think this was done on a whim.
We knew he put a lot of effort into it because the simple fact is he was wearing a wig, he had on glasses.
Well, the owner believes the suspect may have been going after a profit because a lot of his bacon-flavored jerky was stolen, which happens to be his newest concoction.
I guess you could say that Mike certainly has a beef with the guy who does this, and he thinks he's getting jerked around. All right.
Very good.
Yeah,
I like it.
5:39 right now.